to start with Ms. Jones, and we're going to work our way around. And everybody just kind of let me know who you are and what organization that you represent. Ms. Jones.
Kimar Jones, Land Bank Authority Project Manager.
Sean Edwards, Land Bank Authority.
Calvin Mack, just new. Brian Downs, Land Bank Board.
Scott Roundtree, Land Bank Board. The Tax Assessor's Office.
I was like, is that it? Takia Dow's Interim Administrator and Land Bank Board.
Victor Thomas, Vital Steps Corporation.
Divine Drumville, Civil Housing Enterprise.
And Burlington, Housing Enterprise.
Eric Gaines, Gaines Capital Investments.
Carla Delane, Planning and Development and Land Bank Board.
LJ Peterson, Augusta Planning and Development.
John Ranson, Attorney, Land Bank.
Hey, Karen.
Hi there, Karen Gordon, Board Augusta, Land Bank Board.
Charles Williams, Task Force's Office.
Stephanie Clark, PhD Rosie.
Keith Johnson, Marquis Fruit.
Chloe Louise, that's our Rockies. And Stephen McLean, that's a law firm.
Okay. We've got a pretty packed agenda, so I'm going to move it quickly. There may be a couple things that I pull forward just in case I have some of my voting members that have to leave early. I will go ahead though and we'll take a look at item 2A, which is the meeting minutes from our June 5th meeting. Ms. Jones sent those out with the purpose of the board members. If you have not had an opportunity to take a look at those minutes, please do so at this time, and then please someone give me a motion for it.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Second. Motion has been made by Mr. Kia Dowse and properly seconded by Mr. Scott Roundtree to accept the meeting minutes from June 5th, 2024. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. The ayes have it. Okay, I'm going to move item number. Item number 3, item 2K. I'm going to go with that one first. That one is approve a request from Victor Thomas of Vital Steps Development Corporation to purchase the parcel located at 521 2nd Avenue for construction of single-family homes. I'm going to ask Ms. Jones and Mr. Edwards to talk a little bit about it. Also, Mr. Thomas is here with us today, but I want to give them an opportunity to introduce it and introduce Mr. Thomas.
So Pastor Thomas from Vital Steps Development, they have been building in the Sand Hills area. They're looking to purchase this property from us. They own, I believe, the two right next to it, so they're going to combine those to build a single family.
Okay. Is that going to be affordable or going to be market rate?
What's it for?
Affordable house?
Yes, it will be affordable housing. And if I could add to that, this is a property that's been in the land bank inventory for quite some time. Housing and Community Development are partnering with the local nonprofit of record in the Sand Hills neighborhood, which is Sand Hills Urban Development, building on First Street. And so this will be a complementary project to what they're already doing on First.
And for those of you who may not have seen it or just not recognize, if you happen to travel down Wheeler Road just beyond Monsanto, you get there just past the church and look over to your left, there are 2 brand new houses. The first 2 houses have been in Sand Hills, built in Sand Hills for quite some time. That was a partnership between Vital Steps, Housing and Community Development, and Sand Hills Urban Development. And I think this the Vital Steps desire to do something very similar at the location along with the property that they have requested.
What's the purchase price on it?
Sean, what is that purchase price?
Total price for this property would be $2,359, which is the land value, because the structure there will be demolished before that, as well as an old car that's been there for about 13 years will have to be removed.
the last page of the packet.
It's the last application, last page, and then I've got one. Last application, last page of the application.
My last one said.
Okay, and that total price again was, what, Sean?
$23.59 is the client offer.
And what have they paid already?
The $1,400 deposit,
Which would leave a balance of,
$959.
$959 is what, half the land or? What's the offer?
It's half off.
50% of the land value.
Will this cover all of our closing costs?
The $1,400 covers all of our fees, and the fact that they're taking on the demolition of that structure as part of their new construction, we thought that that was reasonable because we only maximum would sell for the land value.
and then what is the policy for affordable housing? What's the,
So a nonprofit organization that is building affordable property has the right to request a reduction of 50% of the assessed value of the property. In this case, it is not for the total structure, again, because the structure is coming down. And that would be one reason for qualification. The secondary reason for qualification would be, of course, the fact that we know that they're gonna be getting a large cost that currently would be ours if we had to demolish the structure.
questions, comments?
And Ms. Jones, you said that they own the property adjacent to that one?
Yes, they own the two adjacent, so 525 and 527.
Under the share.
Yeah, and 30.
30 is right.
Is Vital Steps one and the same with Greater Mount Canyon?
Yes. And if I can. Yes, please.
We own that property from Wheeler Road all the way back. From the front, Wheeler Road, come all the way up to Wheeler Road,
Yeah, come on down.
all the way up.
There you go.
Yeah, we own that, all of that property. From Wheeler Road all the way back to the property that we're trying to purchase from today, all of that.
But you cannot build, take your arrow, your pointer, and put on 533. Right there, it's right there. So everything from that arrow back to Wheeler Road cannot be built on. And that's because that's where the city's sewage piping is located. So none of that can be built on. The church owns from 533 to 527, which is a old house that is boarded up. 525 is a vacant lot. I think it's 521 is the one there.
That is all.
I think the 525, if I remember, I don't even think that's a buildable lot. But anyway, Carl, you go second.
The structure on 527,
Yes.
they own that,
Yes.
so why hasn't that been demolished yet?
They were waiting to get enough property so that they had to start on First Avenue, and now they moved, now that they finished those two houses on First Avenue, then I can on the second.
So is the plan to combine all three of those parcels
Right.
and build how many houses?
We're looking at building 3,
Will 3 fit on those 3 lots? It's
60,
27.
60, 33.
So a portion of 34.
Right.
Okay.
From 33, you can build. So 33 all the way to 21.
Note that we're using the wrong land values in here for the estimate. Land value of 1970 is the assessed land, so only 4%. So the true land value is 4792. you're looking at, this page, to find full market, you're gonna use it appraised at 100%, not assessed at 40. I don't
So
think
you-
it's, I think
That's
this is.
the
This one
Yeah,
is the right
that,
one.
yeah, click on 521. And then property. Okay.
That's the 18. What did you have, Scott?
It's right there, 4792.
We usually do a
You said yes.
appraised. But they have the total fair market value at 18,115.
They're adding the land and the building.
Correct, so 4792 plus 13,323 of the 18, is the 100% value. And then the 1917,529 is the assessed value.
Right, but you said that they have the wrong land value. They have 18,115 right here.
The purchase price is based on a land value of 1917, which only 40%.
Which it should be. When you do affordable housing, then you do 50% of the assessed value, not 50% of the appraised value.
Is that what it is?
So that's what we do when nonprofits want to, which is what we used to do. That's the one thing the policy we never changed, is when a nonprofit wants to build affordable houses. So because we have such a need for affordable houses, we left that portion of the policy as it used to be, which is 50% of the assessed value. Because what we think that we have such a need for affordable housing.
So
Well, that's why I was questioning what you saying was incorrect, okay.
I think for the applicant, I have a question. So you've had the one parcel for 5 years, and you haven't demolished it. My concern is not knowing that this was even really an option. It took 5 years. What's your demolition timeline? Like, because 5 years, no demolition, now you want another parcel that needs demolition on it. What's the holdup with demolition?
What I was trying to do, get all those parcels together and just do one swing instead of bringing demolition crew out 2 times. So, so we're looking at, next, I know this year.
And now they have the money that they can probably push down.
So you think you can demo within the next 9 months? Did you wanna add a contingency? Ms. Delaney?
I think demo should be within 6 months, because I believe there's an open code enforcement case on both of those parcels.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah, we can advise.
So I'll make a motion to approve the demolition.
Just go ahead, before we go back, because I think Scott may be right on that land value. I think the land value, the land value is 47,
That's an appraised value.
That's the phrase.
okay, and where's the,
Assessed value is 19.
I think we go by the appraised value, I don't think we do it at 40%.
Not for affordable housing.
It's not, I thought it was 50% of the
50% of the assessed value. That's the one piece from the old, used to be all of our stuff was based on assessed value. We never did anything fair market, but when we changed the policy, anything that is a developer is based on appraised value. And the one piece that we kept from the, was if somebody's doing affordable housing, if it's a nonprofit is doing affordable houses, then it is 50% of the assessed value.
Is this time sensitive? Let's make certain that we check the policy
I'll answer everybody.
by the end of the meeting.
Yeah, I can say it right now.
Okay.
Motion to table to the end of the meeting?
Yes, we'll table it.
Second. Motion been made and properly second by, made by Mr. Arnold. We'll just push it to the end. All right, let's go back to item 2B. Item 2B is approved request from Augusta Housing and Community Development to purchase 524 Lane Walker Boulevard. Mr. Manning.
Yes, this is we have housing community development here today to present on this matter. And I'll be on 524. Oh, if you want me to, okay, I can take this in. 524 Laney Walker Boulevard is a contracted purchase by Housing Community Development. The purchase price, I believe, is $37,000 flat. Okay. And the assessed value, we look at the county is $41,000. This is a piece of property that HCD is going to be purchasing for rental properties. With extensive renovations that are going to be needed on this property. And that's why the purchase price is so low. I think that they're aware of those issues. Asking for approval from the board today to execute the contract and to purchase this property for affordable housing.
Affordable rental.
Rental.
What's the rent for affordable?
It depends on the bedroom, I'm not sure how many bedroom that property is. I didn't bring it, Oh, it's 3 bedrooms. I can put it.
Three bedrooms, 1 full bath.
Can you do the street view on this one, please?
And did we have this one appraised?
In my opinion on this one, do not do an appraisal based on the value, the purchase being less than the county's assessed value.
It's between, on the lower rate, it's between 6.8, the higher rate is 12.89. So it's purchase price of 37,000. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Carla Delaney and probably seconded by Mr. Kia Dowse to approve the request from Housing and Community Development to purchase the property located at 524 Laney Walker for the price of $37,000. Correct?
Yeah, even.
Even. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposers, nay? Ayes have it. All right, moving on to item 2C. Approve request from Augusta Housing and Community Development to purchase the property located at 31 Eagle Road.
Rock.
Okay, Rock Road. Shannon gonna do that, or you gonna do that?
John's gonna take
Let me take a look at this one. This was a contract to purchase 3119 Eagle Rock. The purchase price on this one is
$209.
$209,000. This is for the rental program as well for Augusta Housing Community Development. My understanding is a fully renovated property that's basic for the $209,000. We purchased and so we also provided a market analysis by the agent for Augusta Housing Community Development. They had this property valued somewhere between $209,000 and $250,000, with the median 234. The comparative market analysis, so it falls in line. They're also requesting appraisal on this one. The contract is contingent upon that appraisal. Should the appraisal come back at a lesser amount, then HCD would, or we would at that point send a amended contract and purchase based on whatever that new appraisal amount is. And if the seller does not agree to that amount, then the contract will be terminated.
So John, in this case, because we are essentially awaiting the appraisal, to include those terms?
The contract already has it in there, that the contract's already, he's contingent on the appraisal.
Okay,
And it has a 21 or 21-day period to have that appraisal complete, and give us that 21 period due diligence to determine whether or not they're gonna move forward with the purchase.
okay, and this one is how many bedrooms, Ms. Jones? So this was gonna borrow the same amount of rent, basically.
Can you do a street view for me, please?
And this is a turnkey, so there's no rehabilitation needed for this. Now, with this one, it's my understanding that HUD will not allow, or HUD has requirements regarding how much we can pay for rental housing. So what's the max we could pay for rental housing with HUD?
The maximum amount on a single family 3-bedroom is $210,000.
And we're paying $292 this one. And it's listed, did you say Zillow for $205? Did we negotiate it down? Did we do any negotiating?
From my understanding, it was originally, the price was $215, and it was negotiated down to the $209.
I've had expanded conversation with Mr. Welcher about this particular piece of property. I don't favor the price. He's aware of that. Board, do we have any other support? Or lack thereof?
Any other discussion?
And just generally for the renovations and looking at inside the house, the prices unfair. So there's high deals.
I think that's where my mind is going.
Whereas houses looking for housing.
And they said this one was fully renovated,
It's turnkey.
turnkey, so we can take someone off of our rental list,
And
put them in a home, and we're good to go. Motion to approve.
Motion has been made.
But do
Mr.
know, I do
Diaz.
not like the price.
Does not like the price. And seconded by Mrs. Scott Roundtree to approve the request by Housing and Community Development to purchase property located at 3119 Eagle Rock Road for the price of $209,000. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. Ayes have it. Item 2D, approve request from Peter, I'm gonna tear his name up, I apologize, Tushia of Capital Rise LLC to purchase land bank parcels located for new construction for single-family homes. This is located at 811 7th Street, 815 7th Street, and 821 7th Street. Mr. Edwards.
Yes, sir. So these are some properties that we've had in our inventory since 2011. Based upon some changes that have happened with Choice Neighborhoods, they don't hold the same interest for us as the Land Bank Authority, being that there will be some different locations selected to support that part of the application with Housing Authority. And so as opposed to continuing to hold property for another 13 years, staff is recommending the sale of 811, 815, and 821 for a total price of $6,570.
Ms. Jones, can you blow that out some for the people in the back? Just concerned about their eyes. Well, not very long.
The address is this?
The addresses are 811 7th, 815 7th, and 821 7th.
Total price for all three of those
Yes, ma'am.
is $6,000?
We've been holding them for a while.
That covers our costs?
It does. And it is a reduced price compared to what the value is. Parcels will have to be recombined. That is an area that is R1C, so they'll be recombining it to give you 2 new homes. But we don't have a use for it. We did make an attempt, just to expound upon that, to contact 2 different nonprofits that also own properties on that block. One is non-responsive. One has determined that their property is worth $600,000 per parcel. And so that was not gonna happen. And so since we have pure enough land to complement a major project, we're gonna liquidate that which we have.
Who owns 809?
So Turn Back the Block owns 809 7th as well as the one on Beans Lane, 808. Miracle Making Ministries is the second nonprofit that we reached out to as well. And so again, we attempted to combine enough property to develop a project there, but neither organization is, well, one organization is non-responsive, and the other again wants an exuberant amount for their land.
Ms. Jones, what about the one that's back in the back? That's my first question while she's looking up that.
808
No.
Beans.
Yeah, and Ms. Delaney, what about egress and ingress for that parcel, 809? Okay, both 808, both of them are owned by Turnback the Block. Okay. Okay.
And that lane, it would be considered access. There's a lane back there, it's not clear,
So it's like trees.
but it's still considered an access.
Oh, wow. To maybe rear access for those parcels. Okay, I motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Kia Dowse, seconded by Ms. Carla Delaney to accept the request or approve the request from Capital Rise through Peter Tushnia for the purchase of the properties located at 811, 815, and 821 7th Street for a total price of $6,570. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed was nay. The ayes have it. For our next property, for our next item 2E, approve the request from Cassandra Brinson to purchase the properties located at 514 Second, 516 Second, 513 Second, 546 Second for new construction for single-family homes. Mr. Edwards.
So this takes us back to Second Avenue in the Sandhills neighborhood. Again, properties that we have maintained for some time. Bigger thing here is we have investigated with 3 separate potential investors the options to be able to either add on to these properties, 3 of which are only 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. One is a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. We've had email correspondence and communication with planning and development that there would have to be extensive rehabilitation work, and based upon the increase in price above the current assessed value, that would then require that we be compliant. These are non-conforming lots, and that's impossible. Each instance has led to that prospective investor choosing to walk. Ms. Brinson has elected to tackle getting estimates on the existing structure with no expansions, understanding that she will still need to be able to have a curb cut that allows for parking on the parcel. And so based on the fact that we've been trying to liquidate these and no one wants to renovate the existing structures, we are agreeing to her total price for these 4 properties at 513, 514, 516, and 546 Second Avenue for a total of $25,691.25.
What's this person's track record with doing this type of activity?
The contractor that submitted her estimates is extensive. We've actually done business with them before on rehabs they've done in both Old Town as well as San Diego.
The objective is to rehab or demo and rebuild?
She's got to rehab because Kevin let us know that if we demo, we got to comply and our lots are too skinny.
Can you renovate that house, this house?
She has quotes on each property.
Can you zoom in one more time?
To which one?
Just one more click, like zoom in just one more time. Alright, so we're looking at 13, 14, 16.
Yeah,
One says 546.
yeah, that's at the top of the block.
Can you do a street view and show us that side of the street where those properties are?
They are. 546, the most recently vacated property.
How long does she have to rent it?
As a private developer, she's got 18 months to do her project.
I say motion to approve.
Second.
I have a
What was
motion,
I didn't hear the motion.
I have a motion from Mr. Ryan Downs to approve, and seconded by Mr. Scott Roundtree. And that is to approve the sale of 514, 516, 513, and 546 Second Avenue to Miss Cassandra Brinson. And what is that total price, Sean?
$25,691.25.
For the price of $25,691.25.
25 cents.
All in favor, aye? Aye.
Chair says aye.
Opposers, nay? Ayes have it.
Is there a timeline on when she needs to get this done, or any of the properties? I know we did 6 months for the first property, but from policy standpoint, that's
Policy,
what I'm asking, policy.
yes ma'am, policy is 18 months for private development. From closing.
Okay, and item 2F, approve request from Cassandra Brinson to foreclose on the property, assist with foreclosure on the property located at 1023 13th Street for rehabilitation of single-family homes. Mr. Edwards.
So 1023 13th Street's a request for foreclosure. Property taxes has not been paid since 2016. As we understand from Ms. Brinson's contractor, property condition would not be deemed compliant with code. We also understand that the property owner, we believe, has passed away as noted in the application, so we don't anticipate future payment of taxes. And so based upon that, with so many years outstanding, we are accepting the client offer for this property and recommending to board that the property at 1023 13th Street be approved for a total price of $12,000.
So, Mr. Edwards, a question, does that mean that it does not have to go through the tax commissioner's office for tax sale, it can go straight to foreclosure?
So the land bank does not do your foreclosures, that is still a function of the tax commissioner's office. When
So
this,
what will our approval constitute today?
it will then activate the attorney working with the tax commissioner to start a foreclosure through his office.
As in a tax sale?
It does not have to go to a public levy sale, there'll still be a public sale as part of your process, but it will not be your monthly levy sale held by the tax commissioner's office at the municipal building. It is our monthly sale that we hold over at the judicial center off of Walkway. So your judicial and room foreclosure process looks a little different than your non-judicial, but it is still a function of the tax commission.
And they prepay the fees whether or not it's successful, right?
The attorney's fee,
The attorney's fee.
deposit is on hold, we have that in office.
Mr. Lane, you said whether or not it's successful, so even if it's not,
They still have to pay it.
So if taxes gets paid by some party other than this prospective client, then of course,
she gets her money back.
Not
So-
Except for the land bank.
we have a change in application requested by your personnel committee that speaks to that would be addressed in new business, that gives you timelines. If taxes is paid by heir, family member, whatever, after a certain period of time, no, that would be non-refundable, but we are prepared to discuss that change in application after new business, or in new business.
But on the current policy, they would get everything back but $1,000.
That is correct, yes,
So here's the example. We take the judicial and realm. We've gone through judge has ruled in favor of tax commissioner waits 45 days, takes it to tax sale. Land bank makes an initial bid, someone bids against the land bank. The land bank decides either not to bid, do a cash bid, or gets outbid. When it gets outbid, That goes to the tax commissioner's office, pays those taxes, and now belongs to whoever outbids. So that means that the person that we contracted with, in this case, Ms. Brinson, they have paid this money in hopes that they could get the property, but at the public sale, they lost out. So the money that they put down, was it 3,500? Of the 3,500, they get 2,500 of it back, because that's the legal fees for taking it to court. But $1,000, the land bank keeps.
Is there any reason why, I'll do it.
I think, John, I guess this one's more for you. I'm not sure I'm a fan of all the work, and I've said this before, and then we potentially don't recoup the costs. This is a risk they're taking. Why are we incurring the expense?
Well, we actually won't incur the expense.
If it's not successful, you just said they get their money.
They get we keep $1,000, that's our expense.
Yeah, but how
We
much?
got $1,000 and we haven't done anything.
Yeah, but again,
Land bank, you mean the individual, you're not talking about the
Question
same.
is, why does she not want to just go to the tax sale and bid on the property?
So the difference, answer that question first. So the difference between interim tax sale versus a normal judicial tax sale that they do, when you purchase that at the normal tax measure sale, once you purchase it, there's a year redemption period where you cannot touch the property. And then once that year redemption period, you then have to borrow the right to redeem the redemption. Then after that, to get marketable value, you have to do a quiet title action, which is about $5,000. The benefit of doing this process is when we have a interested party who has a specific piece of property with a specific use for it, it makes sense for them to pay the cost up front. So once the process is done through the court system, the sale's complete, it's only a 60-day redemption period, and you're not required to do quiet title or the marketable stuff. So it's a much cleaner title, done quicker.
Now, Carla, you were questioning, is the $2,500 that you pay the land bank?
So once it's filed, once we get it, the new process is gonna be, I think, once the applicant gets approved here, we're gonna give them 30 days. I think it's 30, or whatever, decided 30 days to basically buy remorse. If they decide in that 30-day period that, we don't wanna pursue this anymore, we just want our money back and we're gonna cancel it, then they would get their funds back at that point, minus the application.
Right.
After that 30-day period, once it's been filed, that money becomes non-refundable. But in the instance, so they still have an opportunity to get their money back down the road, because once we get this approved, the tax commissioner's office will include those fees on the delinquent taxes. So if we take it to sale and someone else buys the property, that money would be included, so they would get their money back. So there's two opportunities to get their money back. If we take it to sale, and we just bid it in ourselves, and nobody else takes it, then they would not get that $2,500 back, because we had to pay that expense. The matter's already been filed, so we're gonna complete the project.
so the non-refundable portion of the application fee. So say for instance, we do all this and the people come in after the 30 days, they pay 62, and they pay the taxes. You've already done all this work. Has you-
To the former owner, or the owner that we're foreclosing
I'm
on?
talking about the submission, the legal documents that are submitted in order to do the foreclosure. How is that cost covered in the event that?
Like before we get to the sale, someone pays taxes, that money's, that's one, our fees are already attached.
So
In the
there's gonna be
collection
an
of taxes,
tax
so that they go to pay those taxes, they have to pay those fees that the,
So the land bank is not out any money.
And your,
Motion,
the legal, I don't think it's legally.
yes.
motion to approve.
Motion has been made and properly seconded to approve the request from Ms. Cassandra Brinson to assist with the foreclosure on property located at 1023 13th Street for a price of $13,000? $12,000. All Opposers, nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, can I please, for our record, note who made
That
the second?
was made by Ryan, and it was seconded by,
No,
So it was made
no, I'm
by,
sorry, it was made by Keith, and it was seconded by Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, item 2G. Approve request from Srinivasa Rao and Pavani Rao, is that correct? Did I get it right?
let's close.
All right. To purchase property located at 2314 Travis Road for new construction. Ms. Jones.
So we have Mr. Johnson here on behalf of the Rouse. They are looking to purchase 2314 Travis Road to build a house similar to what they have on 2316, which they already own, which I have here. So they'll build something similar there. They have already paid the fees, which I believe are $6,000. Yes, they've already paid their $6,000 fee, and then your form is gonna say they were offering $2,000 for the land, but they've gone up and plan to offer $3,700 for it instead now. This property was on our excessive property list that we presented back in May. I believe it was the May 1st, 2024 meeting. Properties that we were looking to liquidate, so staff is recommending approval at $3,700. But your pricing sheet won't show that increase because this was a later ask number.
So the total price is the 6,000 paid plus the 3,700.
Yes.
Total of 9,700.
Yes.
You said the total is 97?
97.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking that, like, 3,700.
how many bedroom bathrooms will the proposed home be?
For that, okay.
And what's your rent?
The rent is $1,500 and it's including the washer and dryer.
And it's already in the land bank, right?
That's
Have
correct.
a motion to approve.
Second. Motion has been made and properly seconded, made by Ms. Carla Delaney and properly seconded by Mr. Scott Roundtree to approve requests from the Rouse to purchase the property located at 2314 Travis Road for the purchase price of $9,700. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. The ayes have it.
Ms. Jones, can you zoom out? What neighborhood is that?
South Travis Road, right off Travis Road, between Detroit.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, that was nice, okay.
Okay, item 2H, approved request from LW McAllen. LW McAllen to purchase the land bank parcel located at 1413 Hempstead McBean Road for future development of high-rise storage buildings. Mr. Evans.
So the property located at 1413 Hempstead McBean is adjacent to 1405, which will be recombined with 1413 pending board approval in order to make way for this new development that will be at the corner of Old Waynesboro Road and Hempstead McBean Road. Full total fees have already been received, $6,000 as a non-judicial property, and the total of $12,000 is the final remaining balance, which matches the full assessed value or market value for the parcel. Staff is recommending approval of the sale of the property at 1413 Hempstead McBean for a total of $18,000.
Can you turn on the zoning later, please? And they said high-rise storage?
Yes, ma'am. Of course, they understand that will have to be an application that goes before your department as well as the normal process for rezoning agricultural to B1.
And if not approved, contingency if placed, could revert back to.
Is there room to check?
Is that, sorry, is your orientation on, north-south orientation? Trying to get the bearings there. That's all right. I think I got it. Where they built it, or going to build the Dollar General, right there.
1405 is the Dollar General.
Okay, got it. I'm just trying to figure out what it was.
Questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a second? The motion has been properly approved by Mr. Scott Roundtree and seconded by Chris Johnson to approve the request of L.W. McAnally for the purchase of land bank property located at 1413 Hepsville McBean Road for the total price of $18,000. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposals, nay. Ayes have it. Item 2I, approve request from Bree Ellis of Augusta Art Group LLC to purchase land bank parcels located below, which include 1310 Steiner Avenue, 1634 Far Street, 1554 Mill Street, 1503 Chestnut Street, 1456 Forest Street, and 1617 Chestnut Street for new construction of family homes. Ms. Clark.
Hi, everybody. Today I'll be presenting for Augusta Art Group. She is outside of Georgia, so that's why I'm speaking on her behalf. Everyone knows that she is an established developer already in this community. She's completed projects on Maple Street. And the group that she has here would like to expand that into the next 4 blocks. Steiner, Forest, Mill, and Chestnut are all within the same radius, 1 mile radius within this particular downtown area. She would like to purchase all 6 properties for $18,400. Do we know that we will have to spend time in discussing 1634 4th Street? On that particular location, the assessed value, we would like to purchase the property for the land and not for the structure.
Is the price sheet for this one attached to one and not all?
Yeah, it's only attached to one of them, so.
Yeah, it's on the 1503.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that sales price, please?
For all 6 property, $18,400. That's not including the fee.
Yeah, so your total sales price including fees is
Yes. So we're doing 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and we have 2 separate elevations, so that it's not the same project throughout all 4 streets.
For sale,
Yes, it is for sale.
what's your estimated sales price?
Right now, based off of our performer, estimated sales price is about 260, which is still within what the market shows.
You said it's like
Yes, so we did 1609
Those are the ones right next to,
I'm double checking the sales price. 245, excuse me. 245,000 is the sales price on that one.
Can you go back out to GIS, Ms. Jones? Specifically, I wanted to see 1634 4th Street.
And I do have pictures, I've been going to that location, so if I can share it, so you can see how the street looks. I went out there today as well. So you can see how the street looks as of this morning.
can you share those? Is it possible to share those?
And these pictures are from this morning.
Ms. Jones, can you go to a street view, please?
Okay, questions, comments?
She said she had pictures.
I just sent them over.
Our pictures, basically what we see here.
It's a little bit more overgrown on the left side. There's nothing, this home is not there, and then on the right side, it's completely grown up. So there's, yeah, one of
The green or the gray?
the gray house has been demoed.
Okay.
But that lot is overgrown, and then the lot on the opposite side is completely overgrown as well.
And the intent with all the parcels is demo, rebuild, or clear.
Yes, the intent for each parcel is to demo, and then it's only this is the only property that we will have to demo, and everything else is just land.
Motion to approve.
Sean, can you? Total price?
Yeah, your total is client offer plus $31,400 in attorney's fees.
49.8.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Kiyadaus, seconded by Mr. Scott Roundtree, to accept the request of Rhea Ellis of Vanessa Art Group to purchase the properties located at 1310 Steiner, 1634 Forest, 1554 Mill Street, 1503 Chestnut Street, 1456 Forest Street, and 1617 Chestnut Street, for a total price of $49,800. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
But it was originally presented, I thought I heard 18,000, that's what gave me concern.
He said plus the.
Plus the
fees.
31.4 in fees.
That's why I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, item, 2J, approved request from Ms. Aretha Williams for land bank assistance with foreclosure located at 1509 Clay Street for rehabilitation. Mr. Evans.
Yes, sir. So we received application from Ms. Williams with a great number of email correspondences regarding the occupancy of the property. The property does meet the policy of being 2 years tax delinquent, which we have verified with the tax commissioner's office. But upon visiting the site, whenever there's a question of a foreclosure, our policy states that we don't foreclose upon occupied units. There is not only utility service at the site, there's trash collection service at the site, and an individual was parked at the home. Ms. Williams has noted that she went by the property and saw that it was unoccupied. I've got email correspondence with her back on July 10th, noting the things that I just presented to the board, and that she has the right to present to you a request for foreclosure. We denoted again in a follow-up with her on July 31st that our application fee and admin fee are non-refundable by a decision of this board, and that staff would not be recommending approval because we believe the property to be occupied. But the board has the right to make a decision to foreclose on this property tax delinquent property.
Motion to deny.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded to deny the request of Ms. Laretha Williams for the purchase of 1509 Clay Street for rehabilitation. All in favor of the denial? Aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Staff tries, and the reason we expounded upon the email correspondence is because we don't want folks to make deposit knowing that they won't receive support of staff in an approval to the board. But we as staff do not have the right to make decisions on what happens with properties for foreclosure or in the inventory. And so you may start to see more instances where a client or prospective client wants the board to hear a motion. We will try to make this the template of multiple correspondences to say essentially whether or not we are supporting or not supporting an application. But we are now in a position where we can no longer convince an individual to not risk their money. So you may have more items like this in the future where staff are having to bring you something to be heard, not recommending that you approve.
May I suggest you put recommended now? Staff recommends now? For those?
Easy. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
How do we return these taxes?
Just 2 years.
When does the city start the process?
You start processing taxes delinquent at 1 year. However, you can't do a judicial rent by local ordinance unless it's at least 2 years. So in other words, the land bank doesn't have any effect on acquiring property unless it's at least 2 years tax. Okay, and Sean and Kamara, unless you can find the policy real quickly, because John is having a hard time finding it, 521, Pastor Thomas, if it's okay with you, we're gonna push this out till September. We wanna make sure that we have the exact, we tell you the right thing. So we're just gonna push your item out. No one can come back and get in front of you, so you don't have to worry about that. What we'll do is we'll push this out and we'll give you a call back. And you can't, whether you wanna come back for the next meeting, that'll be up to you. Follow through on it at the next meeting.
Mr. Chairman,
Unless you find you got a policy.
I can speak to it if the board would like to entertain. So as noted by the chairman, previous policy did look at 50% assessed value for any nonprofit purchasing property, be it as market rate properties or affordable housing, partnering with housing and community development. When we changed policies and procedures to give you a formal manual, we changed everything that nonprofits were doing market rate. At that time, we had a Choto Community Housing Development Organization that had partnered with a private market investor building market rate housing, but buying properties from the land bank under that discount. So if a nonprofit was moving forward with doing market rate housing, we took that ability away to discount properties. But if they were going to continue to build affordable housing, 80% area, 80% or below area median income, not the 120% NSP program that allowed for that increase, we maintained the policy you once had. So as long as this is an affordable unit utilizing funding like home investment partnership, which sets that requirement, then it would meet that policy.
Is that the case, Reverend Thomas?
So is this a project in collaboration with AHCD or is it independent of AHCD? Is the project a collaboration with AHCD or is it independent? It's completely independent of housing and community development? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's an easy.
It is with AHCD? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded to sell the property located at 521 Second Avenue to Vital Steps with the
6 months.
with 6 months to demolish the property located at 521 and 525, Second Avenue, for the price of $23.19. 23.59. All in favor? Aye. And I abstain.
I want to make sure
Ayes have it.
that 20, whatever it was, is the 14 subtract from that, or that's what?
Yeah,
Yes.
so your total, 14 counts as part of that. So in other words, you have $959 left. All right, moving on to, item 3A, Mr. Mann, foreclosures and donations.
Sure, there's a couple pages in the back of your folders, compare a look on donations and foreclosures. Donations have been pretty quiet, last couple of months. We've had a couple that are still just kind of out there where the folks haven't maybe provided proper documentation, whatever maybe get them across the finish line, but it's still pending. Foreclosures, we just had a big sale yesterday, bid in 8 properties to the land bank. We'll be ready for redevelopment in the next 2 months. Getting ready to sell in September, 2 properties that were foreclosed in July. We have several about to file again. And push those forward, get this completed. Any questions?
Okay, and before Mr. Edwards, comes with the land bank update, I'm gonna tell you something that Mr. Lane said to me, which she said, no, seriously, and in jest, I had to laugh, but it actually is true. She asked me, were we having a fire sale? And, so, because you'll notice that there are quite a few properties that are previously, properties that have been stored in the land bank for long periods of time. One of the things that, we promised to both, our administrator and to our director of, housing and, planning is that, we would, planning and development, I'm sorry, we would, start getting rid of some of these properties that have been sitting in the land bank for long periods of time. And so you see that, Mr. Edwards and Ms. Jones have been working on that, and much more to come. That also reduced the amount of money that we're having to pay out on a regular basis for maintenance fees as well, and certainly we hope that that will reduce the amount of complaint that we get from, citizens
Thank you.
concerned about, the appearance of, our properties in the community. At any rate, I just wanted to, like I said, it was said in jest, but it was serious, and it is true. This is something we're doing. It's a commitment that we have made. Also, want to give, Mr. Edwards a quick moment to give us an update on the land development conference.
Thank you, sir. So as the board is aware, first week of October for the past 3 years, we hold our land development conference in partnership with the Richmond County Tax Commissioner's Office. This year, we are doing something a little bit different. Not only are we hosting our typical land development conference, but we are also partnering with the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, also known locally as NACA. They are a nonprofit, national level first lien mortgage company. They have approached us about doing their Achieve the Dream event. It is where they reach out through on their dime and costs, but then secondly through their social media and marketing, to bring in several states worth of applicants that have been going through their qualification process. In 1 day of qualification, we'll be having 3 days hosted here. They typically get individuals, about 20 to 25% of their customers that show up get fully underwriting approval. They hosted an event in Albany, had about 7,000 people show up. They had one in Selma, about 10,000 people showed up. We are hoping to have numbers between 3,000 and 4,000 here locally. It would be all of the counties of CSRA, including 5 in Georgia, the 2 in South Carolina for our full MSA. And if we are as successful as those other cities, we'll be prepared to present to builders, developers, investors in Richmond County approximately 500 to 700 fully approved home buyers that are looking to come into our community. With that partnership, the event still will be at the Bell. So the first 3 days, 1st through the 3rd, will be the land bank event. And then the 4th through the 6th will be the nonprofit NACA hosting their event. Staff will double down on both sides, so we'll be there for 6 days working, but a limited capacity on days 4 through 6. We are also adding an additional piece to this year. We're in negotiations and discussions at this time with a verbal commitment from Home Depot that is going to come in and sponsor the first day trade show. Typically in the past 3 years, if you came on day 1, you registered for your conference, received your packet and materials, and had about 2 classes worth of information. This year, the public, with no cost to them for registration, will be able to attend a home improvement and renovations trade show that Home Depot will be sponsoring. So a better use for the space that we're paying for at the Bell Auditorium, and a great partnership that we hope to be able to continue into the future. That way, those folks who are not looking to develop but are just homeowners get an idea of what they can do to improve their property. And we hope to also be in a position to have some local vendors present as well to complement that by way of services. So landscapers, HVAC, roofing. The Home Depot will be providing the majority of those trades. So it's going to be a little bit even more intensive than last year for staff that are working with us. But as I note often, the 8 of us have pulled out miracles. We've done a fantastic job and got great reviews on the past 3 years, and we expect to do that for you again this year.
Questions, comments?
Mr. Edwards, will you also speak on the land bank workshop tomorrow held by the Augusta Commission?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to do that when the chairman asked for new business. But yes,
Thank you. That's fine.
So, and I'll let you conclude with that. 2 items of new business. One, board members, you should have received a list from Mr. Manton, and that list is an abatement list. As you know, one of the unique authorities of the land bank is the ability to extinguish taxes, and that is what allows us to negotiate with individuals to sell these properties that are many times underwater. So once we have done that negotiation, in order for those to be abated, Mr. Manton has to send a request over to the tax commissioner's office. What you see is the request of the properties that he's going to ask for those taxes to be abated. And so somebody will make a motion to approve.
First, I think procedure, first you have to have a motion to add the item to the agenda.
Okay. So let me have a motion. I make a motion to add the abatement of taxable properties to the abatement of taxes for taxable properties to the agenda. Motion has been made by Chris Johnson and properly seconded by Ryan Downs to make the addition as new business. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And the second motion is to accept the properties listed for abatement to go to the tax commissioner's office. You have a second? Second. Motion has been made by Chris Johnson and properly seconded by Chris Johnson to accept the list of abated properties to go to the tax commissioner's office. All in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Okay. As far as new business is concerned, Mr. Edwards, you can have.
Will the list be made public?
I mean, you can find out. This is just continuation of, like you see these properties that were sold today, and they had taxes on them, then John has to ask me to just part of that process.
yes, sir. So tomorrow, upon request by County Commissioner Stacey Pulliam of District 2, we've been working with the City Administrator's Office, Mrs. Dows's office, in order to get the How Land Banks Operate workshop on agenda. We now have that scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. We will have visiting guests from Center for Community Progress, both Ms. Sarah Toring as well as Ms. Odetta McLeish-White will be coming down. They are a national level lobbying organization for land banks across the country. We're also going to have 2 of our neighboring land bank executive directors, Mr. Chris Norman from the Metro Atlanta Land Bank and Ms. Allison Goldie coming from City of Savannah, in order to speak about how their land banks operate. That meeting is open to the public. It will be held in the chamber, 2nd floor of the municipal building, and again begins at 2 p.m. We'll of course take questions from all of the commissioners as well as the mayor for those who are in attendance. And then we have been asked to maybe do a follow-up with Ms. Liz Owens, who often is here with our local media, recording and being a part of the land bank meeting. So we've had some correspondence with her. But any support for the Augusta Georgia Land Bank that you wish to extend, we would ask that all of our board members, if available, will be in attendance. And if any member of the community wants to come out and get that information, feel free.
Yeah, I strongly encourage board members to attend, especially since I will not be able to attend. Especially if there's any questions surrounding our duties and responsibilities regarding how we support the land bank, that would greatly be appreciated. So please avail yourself tomorrow at 2 p.m.
And that is Commission Chambers.
That's correct.
All right, if there's nothing else,